Today on the newscast, is Israel at risk of a chemical weapons attack from Syria? A disturbing new report lays out what the Iran-Hezbollah-Assad axis may be planning. That's next. Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast. We're going to get right into it today with a stunning report from the Alma Research and Education Center in Israel. Now, Alma does great on-the-ground work on exposing the threats to Israel, in particular, the threats to Israel's north from Syria and Lebanon. You can see more of their work at israel-alma.org, including their stunning new report detailing a potential chemical weapons threat to Israel. Folks, we've talked a bunch here on the newscast about the coming Great Northern War that will pit Israel against Iran, Hezbollah, and their jihadist allies. The bulk of the action will take place in Syria and Lebanon to the north, although I believe this will be a multi-front war with Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and perhaps the Houthis in Yemen throwing their hats in the ring as well, and igniting that entire Iran-backed ring of fire that surrounds Israel on all sides. But the north is where the most intense fighting will occur. As we've discussed here in recent weeks, Hezbollah has been increasing its provocations along the Israel-Lebanon border, and now this new report from Alma says that Hezbollah may have a chemical trump card. We're going to break it down in a minute. Before I do, a quick reminder to subscribe to the Watchman News channel right here on YouTube and click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. Folks, we are fast approaching 700,000 subscribers. Hard to believe, and we'd love if you could help us spread the message far and wide for such a time as this. Prophetic Bible times, no doubt. Okay, let's get right into this stunning report from the Alma Research and Education Center in Israel. It says that a Syrian government chemical weapons center in the city of Masyaf in northwestern Syria could pose a major threat to Israel. The report says, quote, "The SIRS Center serves as Syria's national military industry. The SIRS Center is accountable for the research, development, and military production of advanced weapons such as surface-to-surface missiles, such as the M600 Fateh 110 missile, which is at the heart of the joint Iranian, Syrian, and Hezbollah precision project. In addition, the SIRS Center is responsible for developing and manufacturing chemical, biological, and potentially nuclear weapons." Now, the report goes on to say that Iran and Hezbollah guard the SIRS Center very closely, and that Iran has essentially taken over this Syrian government site. The Iranian regime loves that it can develop precision-guided missiles at this site and cut the time it takes to transfer these weapons and weapons parts onto southern Lebanon and into the hands of Hezbollah. As the Alma report puts it, quote, "Iran's major focus is to develop and manufacture precision missiles and rockets, cruise missiles, and unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs or drones, on Syrian soil using the SIRS Center's infrastructure." It goes on to say that the bottom line is that the SIRS Center is an inseparable part of the infrastructure of the arms corridor to Syria and Lebanon, both in terms of the production of advanced weapons and their long-term storage for future use by the Shiite axis, led of course by Iran. It's no wonder that Israel has struck the SIRS Center several times in the past, as we've detailed here previously on the newscast, but those strikes have apparently not been able to shut down all of the nefarious activities at this site. The Alma report details that the Syrian regime possesses extensive chemical capabilities that it sees as a guarantee of its survival. Remember, there is a track record here with the Assad regime and WMDs. Assad used them against his own people during the Syrian civil war, and Israel destroyed a Syrian nuclear reactor in 2007. But the most chilling section of this report from the Alma Research and Education Center is this, and I quote, "Hezbollah's use of chemical weapons in the next confrontation with Israel cannot be ruled out. It is conceivable that missiles and rockets armed with chemical weapons, such as sarin nerve gas, are being stockpiled for use by Hezbollah in one of the Sur's center sites in the Masayef area and will be transferred to Lebanon if so directed. The Alma research team goes on to say, quote, "We estimate with a high probability that in a situation of war, Israel will attack the chemical weapon stockpiles wherever they are in Syria and or Lebanon." Folks, wow, in today's Middle East, expect the unexpected and talk about prophetic implications. I'm thinking in particular the book of Isaiah, chapter 17, verse 1, which describes the eventual demise of Damascus. Now, a little while back, I sat down in Israel with Erick Stakelbeck, who's the founder of the Alma Research and Education Center, for a concise and very informative assessment of the threats from Lebanon and Syria. 150,000 rockets and missiles, 2,000 attack drones, and some 45,000 battle-hardened, battle-tested foot soldiers. I'm talking about Hezbollah, the Iranian regime's most lethal and dangerous proxy. We spoke to Erick Stakelbeck, CEO of the Alma Research and Education Center, for the inside story on the threat to the north. Take a look. For the average American at home, the average viewer, who is Hezbollah and what do they want?
The most professional military militia of Iran, based mainly in Lebanon, but also elsewhere in the Middle East. It's important to know that Hezbollah is not only a military militia, but also a social movement in Lebanon and a political party, and that's how it gains its military power from the population.
Talk about their arsenal if you can, some at least 130,000 rockets and missiles pointed at every inch of Israel.
We understand that it's much more than that, actually. The amounts are really huge to various ranges that covers almost all the state of Israel, and also around 2,000 drones. By the way, not only to Israel, but elsewhere in the Middle East.
Talk about Syria and Hezbollah, of course, their main power base in southern Lebanon. It seems that Hezbollah and Iran are determined to establish a beachhead right there on Israel's border.
They are already there. Since the rebels lost in the area next to the Israeli-Syrian border, Hezbollah was deployed there with 2 units. One of them is responsible for training the Syrian army, and the other one is responsible for carrying out small tactic terrorist attacks against Israel. And both of them, of course, are also fighting any uprisal of the population there.
Up north, it seems like Hezbollah and Iran are trying to encircle Israel. Do you get that sense?
Of course, that's the whole idea, to create multi-front clash with Israel in the future. But I think that also the state of Israel is doing what it should do in order to defend itself in face of this threat.
Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, has made some noise over the years about invading the Galilee. Is there a chance that Hezbollah could try to cross the border into the Galilee and into the communities of northern Israel?
I don't see Hezbollah taking over the Galilee with its ground forces that it has developed in Syria. The only thing is that for us Israelis, we must be prepared for this day and to gather the intelligence and understand what is actually happening on the other side. I'm very sad for the Lebanese that this is what Hezbollah is doing in their country.
Precision-guided missiles, PGMs for short. Can you talk about what a threat that is and how Iran is trying to transit them through Syria into the hands of Hezbollah in Lebanon?
Or to transfer the components that enables Hezbollah to, in factories based either in Lebanon or in Syria, to make the process of the rockets becoming accurate.
Why is that such a game changer, those PGMs?
Nasrallah said that, by the way, very clearly. He presented a map with all the civilian infrastructures in Israel and said, I have the capability to hit all of these. So Iron Dome has a 90% success. One missile can cause a lot of damage and a lot of casualties as well.
Thanks again to Erick Stakelbeck for those great insights. Folks, if you like that clip and you want to see more like it, be sure to tune in to our weekly Watchman television show on TBN, airing every Thursday night, including tonight, at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and then Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are on the ground in Israel and points beyond throughout the Middle East and throughout the world, bringing you the on-the-ground story in these Bible times that we are living in right now. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Watchman Newscast. Remember, I know this was pretty heavy subject matter to say the least, but God Almighty still sits on the throne. And when it comes to Israel, to his land, he neither slumbers nor sleeps. So take heart. Until next time, God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload, and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.